You set the bar of how comfortable someone is disrespecting you. This happens really quickly in an interaction, so you gotta catch it quickly, stop a bitch in her tracks, and have her known who's mother. Okay, I guess that was too much. But let me show you how it happens. They're gonna make test runs. They're gonna test your patience every time. They're gonna test your boundaries again with something even more controversial. And fast forward to the future, we can already guess it. They're gonna bully you around, treat you like a doormat, and you have no choice but to be a fighter. Because we gotta get our respect back. You cannot be a people pleaser. And do not try to hold the peace and be all harmonious or something like that. What the fuck will you do with that peace? That person disrespected you, and now you keep thinking about how they treated you, how they made you uncomfortable and everything, and you're in a downward spiral. So you gotta let that energy, that frustration out. How dare they talk to you like that? How dare they treat you like that? You gotta go with that energy. But then again, there are certain instances where you have to be a little mindful. Be mindful over there. But this is the energy you need to exude, that if you fuck up, you're gonna have issues. And when it comes to creating boundaries, you don't have to go to a war. You just have to exude that energy. It's very silent. And I forgot to mention this. Many times just a look is good enough to let them know what's up, and you are aware of what's going on. If they are even a little sensible, they just like catch the energy and backtrack. And if that's not happening, then you need to call them out. Like, maybe, okay, what's going on? Wrap it up. Or something like that. Here I want to give you two examples of instances in my personal life where I did not stand up for myself and the consequences I had to bear, long-term consequences, yes. And another time when I quickly and swiftly set boundaries with the other person, and yeah, things were good. So for the first example, we have to go back in time. This was when I was 18. I was doing a graphic design course, and while I was doing that course, I usually felt judged for the way I carried myself with my feminine demeanor, and I, to be honest, did not have the balls to confront my peers regarding that, and a lot of things happened in that short span of time. So the particular instance that I want to talk about is when we once were on a field trip and we were taking photographs and stuff like that, and one of my peers' camera equipment was not working, and he got really frustrated, and my camera equipment was also causing me issues. So I was like, fuck it, I don't care. We were in a park basically, and I saw some swings, and I just started riding the swings because I was like, this is not working, so might as well just distract myself with something else and have some fun. And I don't know what ticked that person off. He said some really inappropriate things in front of my other classmates and made me feel really humiliated and embarrassed. And guess what I did? I disregarded my feelings. I did not even care because I couldn't even process whatever just happened, and I just felt a little ashamed for some reason, which now if something like that happens, I'll be like, bitch, what the fuck did you just say? But back then I wasn't this confident. Rather than considering my own feelings, I was consoling that person that why are you so frustrated? Is everything okay? And stuff like that. And that created the dynamics between him and I. He ended up becoming one of my employers, and guess what? The same behavior continued. If not, it got worse. He never paid me on time. Whenever I would ask him to pay me, he would like, don't even bring it up. So yeah, that set the tone, and things went way too far, and I had to bear the consequences of not setting the boundary from the very get-go. That brings me to another time. Fast forward to my recent past, like a month or two ago. Although this situation is not so big, but still, it is disrespectful. One of my coworkers snapped his finger at me while he wanted to grab my attention to talk about something immediate. And that just set me aback. I was like, did you just snap your finger at me? And that person was like, oh no, I wanted to grab your attention regarding this or something like that. I was like, fuck that. I do not care what you wanted to talk about. You do not snap your finger at me. You do not talk to me like that. You do not treat me like that. And I was very firm and professional, I would say. Yeah, I was professional, I mean. And guess what? That particular behavior did not repeat itself, because I let that person know that if you test this again, we're gonna have bigger issues. And that did not happen again. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is you don't need to wage a war to set boundaries. You just need to bring it up. If they disrespect you, bring it up once in a calm tone and let them know that it made you uncomfortable. If the said behavior keeps repeating, well, bring it up again. If they're a decent person, they will stop right there on the second time, because most likely it wasn't intentional and all is good. They're a nice person and they'll stop acting that particular way towards you. If they're indecent, well, I'd say, why are you even around that person? If you cannot avoid being around that person, maybe you're in a professional setting, well, bitch, gather a few more people, because probably that asshole is being an asshole towards other people as well. Write a scathing email to the HR and get that bitch fired. Shoo, bitch, be gone. But this is a last resort. Why do you want to go to that level when you can stop them immediately? So that's what I'm trying to say. And in personal setting, you need to cut people off and you need to let them know that this is not, if you want to be in a relationship with me to any form, shape or form possible, you need to talk to me in a certain way. You do not talk to me like that. And this is a phrase that is going to be really helpful for you to setting boundaries and still be mannerful. I don't know if that's a word. And if you do not feel comfortable setting boundaries, well, we have an issue here. You need to work on your self-concept. Do you really respect yourself? You need to ask yourself that. Do you see yourself in a higher light? Do you see yourself as your ideal version? Or maybe you're striving towards your ideal version? If you're not, well, what are you waiting for? Work on yourself. Stop talking negatively about yourself and others around you. And negative self-talk doesn't just happen verbally, it happens here as well. So you need to stop talking negatively about yourself. I happen to be really skinny, and many a times people feel really comfortable like skinny shaming me or something like that. Earlier, I just would let it slide. And now I'm like, if you want to talk negatively about anybody's body, talk about your own body. Do not comment on my body. Yeah, because I don't do that with other people. So yeah, and you have to stop them immediately. I used to negatively think about my own body, but I don't do that anymore. I love my body the way it is, but definitely I want to work towards my ideal self. So whenever somebody brings up this issue of me being really skinny or something like that, well, I agree with them to a certain extent, but I'm not gonna let them trample all over my confidence, and how dare they talk to me like that? And when you do not talk shit about other people, you can call them out as well, because you're treating them in a higher regard, so you can have the expectation of them treating you at a higher regard as well. Then they won't be like, oh my god, but you said this is this. We don't want to get into those issues, and we don't want them to open up their receipts and their chats and bringing up shit against us. So stop bullshitting with people. People will stop bullshitting with you. As simple as that. And coming back to your self-concept, talk to yourself the way you would want people to talk to you, refer to you, and keep that as a standard. That's the only way you refer to yourself internally, as well as people refer to you. You need to exude that energy, that confidence, that clarity. When you walk in, people look up to you because you look up to yourself. And if there are exceptions, I mean, of course, it is all the more easy for you to set those boundaries because you don't think badly about yourself. Another thing that I would like to bring to your attention is when it comes to fixing your self-concept or bringing to an ideal level, you need to work on your inner child. You need to heal it, you need to feed it, you need to nurture it. And for that, I have made a separate video. I would love for you to check out that video and work on that and work on yourself. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.